When a new snack comes out, there's no guarantee that it will be around forever. Many consumers adjust to this sad reality by replacing their favorite discontinued treats with the next best option, while others believe that their beloved snacks will return to store one day. In this video, we're counting down the 10 most beloved snacks of the 90s that are now forgotten. Imagine you invite your now old friends around to enjoy the Planters cheese balls with you. Won't it feel like you're back in the 1990s again? Planters, a well-known snack food company, introduced the cheese balls. Planters cheese balls has to be one of every 90s kid's favorites. Those perfectly round, cheesy, and crunchy puffs placed in a bright blue canister. The first thing that captures your heart once you open the can has to be their bright orange color. The vibrant hue seems to jump off the metal can, grabbing your attention, and your stomach instantly craves them. It's an instant temptation that says, "Eat me." They're so salty and so cheesy. And a single serving of cheese balls is 37 balls. 37! And do you remember the aftertaste? These balls get a little stuck in your teeth, causing a little damage to the roof of your mouth if you don't crunch right away. But overall, they're satisfying. The product was discontinued in 1990, but in 2018, they made a return and still exist today. They are greatly missed because of their unique texture and flavor that no other cheesy snack could replicate. In 2018, they replaced the lid with a paper seal instead of an aluminum lid. Our next bygone snack was also a standout in the 90s, Dunkaroos. This brand of snack food from Betty Crocker was first launched in 1990. It consists of a snack-sized package containing cookies and frosting. As the name implies, you have to dunk the cookies into the frosting before eating. Dunkaroos come in rainbow sprinkle frosting with vanilla cookies, vanilla frosting with chocolate cookies, chocolate frosting with graham cookies, strawberry frosting with vanilla cookies, and rainbow sprinkle frosting with chocolate chip graham cookies. Each snack package contains about 10 cookies and 1 cubic inch of frosting. Production stopped in the United States in 2012, but continued to be sold in Canada. In December 2019, Dunkaroos were brought back unofficially by Nestle with a chocolate hazelnut flavor. The biscuits are shaped like a kangaroo biscuit, and this was only available in Australia. Back then, the combination of crunchy cookies and sweet frosting was pure magic. This is why we miss them. They've returned in recent years, but are unlike the ones we had. Our next treat also holds a similar fondness in the hearts of the 90s kids. Who can forget the childhood thrill of being handed a bumpy, gem-like candy on a plane ride or road trip? Those tiny, tart treats had a magical power to leave us satisfied for a while, only to leave us begging our parents for another one after 10 minutes. They were just that good. Those tangy, sour candies come in a variety of fruity flavors, packaged in Altoids tins. Their bold, puckering flavors made them unforgettable. Like many other snacks that came in the 90s, they were discontinued in the long run. Well, Altoids sours have resurfaced again. Mars sold the recipe to another company, Iconic Candy, which is behind the second coming of these legendary hard candies. This time around, Altoids sours are instead called retro sours. Even though we do not see them around as much as we used to back in the day, they bring so many memories and we'll never forget them. The next one on the list didn't come in a little paper box or a pouch like its other competitors, but rather in a molded plastic bottle that can be squeezed. Can you guess the name? Squeeze It was a fruit-flavored juice produced by General Mills and was sold from 1985 until the middle of 2001. It was a colorful, sugary fruit drink that came in plastic bottles and funny faces. What made this snack a fan favorite was because you had to squeeze it to extract the beverage from its container, and you can tell this was a big deal for kids. Squeeze It came in various flavors and versions, which also had color pellets that changed the Squeeze It's color when dropped into it. The flavors were Chuckle and Cherry, Grumpy Grape, Berry Bee Wild, Silly Billy Strawberry, among others. Each flavor came with a different character designed into the plastic bottle. Following some 1987 test marketing in Denver and availability on the West Coast, General Mills rolled out Squeeze It nationally in 1988. About $25 million worth of drinks sold, making it one of the top 3 best-selling packaged juices in the U.S. and prompting General Mills to offer the product nationwide. By 2001, they had already earned $50 million from Squeeze-It sales, but they were discontinued anyway. It was so shocking when they discontinued the product. Why would they suddenly stop making something Americans loved and were ready to pay good money for? But not long after its production ceased, Squeeze-It returned to stores briefly and periodically. In 2013, General Mills announced that another Squeeze-It comeback isn't in the works. Today, Capri Sun and High C have taken their space. Talking about iconic, this next snack was such a staple that it still lingers on in people's memories nowadays. PB Max is a candy bar produced by Mars in the United States. It was a creamy peanut butter over a square-shaped whole grain cookie, alongside milk chocolate with crunchy round cookie pieces. The candy bar was also sweetened with sugar and hydrogenated vegetable oil to prevent separation. Early television commercials for PB Max declared that the PB in its name didn't stand for things such as piggy banks, polka bands, or portly ballerinas, but that it stood for peanut butter. According to former Mars executive Alfred Poe, PB Max was discontinued due to the Mars family's distaste for peanut butter, despite $50 million in sales. When Magic Middles disappeared from grocery stores without a trace, fans were overly disappointed. Why would Keebler stop producing one of its most beloved products? Keebler Magic Middles were sweet shortbread cookies with a fudge or peanut butter filling. Although it was the go-to snack for several kids, they quietly discontinued the original and peanut butter so they could use the equipment that produced them for another line. They have no plans to return them, but fans still await its return. Magic Middle was delicious, right? Wait till you see this next one. Pizzeria Pizza Chips were launched in 1991. This line of snack chips was reportedly the most successful snack food launch in Keebler's history, earning a whopping $75 million in their first year. As a result, Keebler was awarded New Product Marketer of the Year in 1992 by the American Marketing Association. Pizzeria's also got a Gold Edison Award from the AMA for marketing excellence. Pizzeria Pizza Chips were a line of snack chips made by the Keebler Company and developed by Adam Burke, Keebler's new product development manager. Pizzerias were manufactured using fresh pizza dough and were divided into 3 flavors: Pizza Supreme, Zesty Pepperoni, and Cheese Pizza. The bold pizza flavor was unique and deeply loved by fans of the 90s. But one day, Pizzeria's pizza chips just disappeared, and we don't know where to go. Oreo O's is a breakfast cereal consisting of Oreo-flavored O-shaped cereal pieces. The cereal was a joint product from Post Cereals and Kraft Foods, which allowed both companies to share the rights, distribution, and profits after 1997. In 2007, both companies ceased co-branding, making the cereal impossible to produce because while Kraft Foods owned the copyrights to the name Oreo, Post Cereals owned the copyrights to the cereal recipe itself. Due to this rift, neither of both companies wished to relinquish either right, therefore forcing the cereal to become discontinued worldwide. This cereal tasted like cookies. The circular cereal pieces are studded with little white dots that give an interesting crunch against crunch textural contrast, like a much firmer and better version of Apple Jacks. It's hard to say why Oreo O's disappeared for such a long time, but it certainly wasn't because the cereal sucked. When it first disappeared in the mid-2000s, fans were devastated. While it has returned in some regions, the original recipe hasn't been fully revived. Sadly, like Oreo O's, Kudos bars are a thing of the past. But unlike Oreos, there are no plans to resurrect them. So what happened? Kudos was a milk chocolate granola cereal bar produced by Mars, and it was launched in 1986. It came into the market with 3 varieties: Nutty Fudge, Chocolate Chip, and Peanut Butter. Future flavors would include bits of Mars candy, including Snickers, M&Ms, and Dove chocolate. The initial formulation of the bar was much more candy bar-like, with less focus on the granola, even though the original intention was to offer a healthier candy bar alternative. The original slogan was, "Kudos, I'm yours." Unfortunately, the parent company stated in a 2017 Facebook post that the bars had officially been discontinued. As of 2020, there were no plans to revive the product. Well, the folks at Mars once tried to make that dream come true when they rolled out the legendary Kudos bar in 1986. Marketed as a nutritious granola snack with a robust candy flavor and a thick chocolate coating, the product was wildly successful throughout the 90s. Kudos bars have indeed been discontinued by their manufacturer. They stopped production in 2017. No official reason was given, but many have concluded that the constant push and pull over whether or not they constituted a healthy snack was a driving factor. They were marketed as healthy, but honestly, they were just delicious candy bars in disguise. Lastly, in today's video, we have the Jell-O Pudding Pops. The one thing that can make a sweet treat even sweeter is freezing it. And that's what General Foods did when they began producing their Jell-O Pudding Pops in the 70s. They had first originated in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, but they were still very popular in the 90s. Jell-O pudding was a pudding popsicle that was more rounded and richer in taste than a fudgesicle, and as sweet as it sounds. Introduced as all the goodness of real Jell-O pudding frozen on a stick, it was creamy, sweet, and chocolatey. It was a huge hit among Americans back then, especially among kids who wanted to have a pudding popsicle just about everywhere. In their first year, General Foods sold $100 million worth from sales of this sweet, and in 5 years, they were already making $300 million annually from the sale of Jell-O Pudding Pops. But as expected, they discontinued too. Well, it was mainly a production issue. General Foods wasn't a manufacturer of frozen foods. They just hit on this idea of frozen sweet pudding, and now it was becoming too hard for them to keep producing and storing this iced treat. So, in 2004, they gave the license to Popsicle, who tried to revive the idea of frozen pudding. But maybe it was the name change or the fact that the new popsicles lacked that X factor that Jell-O pudding used to have. They didn't sell, and by 2011, they were discontinued completely. Which of these 90s snacks was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below.